seem to get this to load. Oh. Hey, Steve. Hopefully my internet's gonna correct itself here. There we go. See if I can get this to work. All right. So I discovered some interesting things recently I wanted to share. And I'm doing it with my new Osmo gimbal on my phone camera. So here's some of that fun, smooth Osmo action. Now, cool stuff. Almost none of this was my idea, but I'm going to try and share some interesting budget hobby supply ideas. Blank screen. You can't see me, Joe? That ain't good. All right, well, hopefully you guys can see me. How many of you in the chat room have access to one of those chain stores like the Dollar Store or Dollar General or Family Dollar, etc.? Throw a thumbs up or a whatnot in the chat. All right. At least one. So I found a couple of cool things there the other day. That's not the only thing I'm going to talk about, but first off, we got the Dollar Super Glue. You really can't find super glue any cheaper than that. Sometimes you get lucky and they got the 3-pack. The next thing they have there, which I like for finishing, is these guys. And this is a partially used pack. They come in a pack of 4 or 5 for $1. So you can sand to your heart's content. But before you use the scrubs, these, what do they call them? I always forget the name of these things. Scotch-Brite pads. Before you get to these, we need sandpaper, right? And we need it in different grits. Well, guess what? They're selling this stuff. This stuff is a sandpaper set. It's waterproof abrasive paper and then abrasive paper for wood, which you can use all this stuff on wood. And it's got a bunch of different grits. There's an 80, a couple of 240s, a couple of 400s in the waterproof stuff. And then there's some 80, 100, and 150 all in a big pack for $1. So, already showed you that. A couple of super glues, good times. Dollar Tree score. Hey Kim, welcome. Then we got one of these sets here. This is something my friend DIY Dark Matter. You guys should check him out. He recommended these for making captive rings. They are a pick and hook set in the automotive section. And they got nice little right angles to them. You can throw your own handles on them. They're just plastic. But if you look real close here, says high carbon steel shaft, heat treated. I think that's a good thing. So I'm going to give these a try at some point. I think these were like $6. Now we'll get to the fun Christmas presents. As I said before, this is my new gimbal for my phone camera. It's got pan, tilt, zoom, stabilization. So when I put one of them super off balance crazy burls on board and shake the heck out of my shed, this thing supposedly can compensate for that. So that's always good fun. The other camera I'm using when I film my videos is like, come over here. This thing right here, you might not be able to see very well, is a Osmo Pocket. And I can hook that sucker up to my other smartphone. I can rotate that camera to where I want it. And it also has an image stabilization. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm controlling that on my other screen. Oh, right there under my armpit. So those are two of my Christmas presents. Anyway, I've been using the Pocket for a while, but this gimbal's new. And then I got this guy right here, this Steady Rest, for turning those long, skinny things like urns and vases. So this is probably what I'm going to use. I'm going to test this out on this piece of redwood. But as I'm sure you guys all have experienced, you get all these presents and you plug them all in and you get started and you look at your device and you realize the battery's almost dead. So I'm at about 45%. So I'm just going to start turning this piece of redwood. And if we get to the point of testing this Steady Rest, great. Otherwise, I will throw it on a video later. So before I start turning, any questions? Hearing none. Y'all still there? All right, at least Joe's here. That was a nice piece. All right, we'll see you later, Kim. Gotta get this thing connected. Yeah, Jen, I had to kill the audio on my end because I kept hearing myself 5 seconds later. Obviously, I'm sort of contriving a reason to hook this up just because I want to see how it works. So I got this thing way out on the end. I'm gonna pull the Of course, I put my tool rest on the wrong side. Anyway, so what we're doing here, we're just messing around with this new steady rest. I think what I'm going to do is slap a monster Forstner bit on this thing and just see how it handles an aggressive attack. Because that's how zombies roll. No, I haven't fixed my live center yet. Okay, just so you guys know, I'm at 15% battery, so I'm just going to recap real quick what I'm doing here. I was showing you some cool dollar store cheap wood turning tricks. So we've got the super glue. I've seen them in packs of up to 4, but 2 of these for $1 is pretty good in my book. We've got the Scotch-Brite scouring pads. We've got the DIY dark matter pick and hook set for making captive ring tools. So that's good quality high carbon heat treated steel there for like $6. And what I thought was probably the coolest is these sandpaper sets for $1. There's a bunch of different grits. So you could just use one packet for a project. Maybe you could cut them in half. So that's pretty damn cheap if you ask me. And then there's this fancy steady rest that I'm playing with. So I'm going to go ahead and try to throw this Forstner bit into it, and then my battery's going to die, and wish you guys all happy holidays. Whoop! Try not to throw my camera across the room. I didn't get this steady rest with my money. I used YouTube money, Jen. go. Tighten up your steady rest, people. It's called catastrophic fail test. All in all, I've seen worse. I didn't tighten this down right here. I put myself on the other side of the camera from the controls. Couldn't turn it off. The sacrifices I make for all of you. So I've already come up with some critiques for this steady rest. There's no way to lock it in place and then tighten it. And there's this, when you go to tighten this thing, it wants to, you see what it's doing there? It wants to bend up, which is not what I want it to do. So it's hard to, there's no like detent or anything to lock it into place. So anyway, good times. I'm gonna let you guys go because my battery light is flashing. This was just a little experiment, good, but you know, ignore my steady rest advice and go buy some super glue. Happy holidays.